What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about some DeFi protocols. Alright guys, so if you are new to the channel, this is Drake on Digital. We just talk about different altcoins, different projects, basically everything crypto, basically how to make it in the markets. Anyways guys, if you guys are not on Drake on Digital, you're getting left behind. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to go ahead and get straight to the video. We got a couple things to talk about. I'm going to try to be brief and quick about it. But there's so many ways you guys can make passive income with crypto. So even if you are leery or opposed to risk into something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Maker, or any of the DeFi gems, or any of crypto whatsoever, and you just don't want any risk at all, or you want very minimized risk, well, they do have things called stable coins. They do have some volatility, but they are not crazy. But what you can do with these stable coins is you can earn passive income in DeFi. So you don't have to bet the house on it. This is something that's like you can earn more money in one day in interest than you do with the bank all year. And I'm going to show you guys a couple strategies and a couple things you guys can start with. Obviously, there's one you guys know of very well off. It's called PancakeSwap. So PancakeSwap, they do have a lot of different things you guys can do, but you can, if you wanted to, you can start with this would be quote unquote considered more risky because you're going to be using other tokens or other protocols that are different types, so they aren't really just stable coins. Instead, you're actually going to be buying different cryptocurrencies, and you guys can see the different rates. You will get some crazy high APR rates because the risk is a lot higher. So this is just something if you want to play around with cryptocurrency. However, if you're opposed to risk and you want just stable coins, there are different networks for that. So first off, you can go to Zapper.fi. So on Zapper.fi, there's different things you can play around with, but it's an all-in-one DeFi aggregator. It links your Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, just different things it'll show. But what you can do is you can go to the different pools. If you guys want to deposit in these, go for it. But they have pools that are just single that offer just for like the DAI or stable coins. So you can just deposit single stable coins and you can play around with these pools. This is on Zapper.fi. They also have something on Rari Capital. Rari.capital. You guys can check out the website and then you launch the portal. And you can earn about 20% APY on stablecoins. They do have fees and stuff involved, and I did do a breakdown on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description, or you can just visit my website, or not website, but YouTube channel and search for Rari, R-A-R-I. And that'll pull up in our videos. But look, it's as simple as this. You deposit, let's just say we'll do 500 USDC. We'll hit review, and it'll confirm the transaction with MetaMask. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to pay the gas fees right now. I already wasted enough gas fees on the network. And these are just decentralized ways, guys. This is what DeFi means. And I'd earn a passive 20% APY on the stable coin. So what that means is at the end of the year, after it's all said and done, I'll have $600 or 600 something dollars instead of just 500. So I just pocketed $100. I mean, geez. I mean, if you go to your bank and you deposit, I want to say $50,000, you still won't get $100 in interest at the rates they're paying right now. In fact, that'll get to a point in time where you will have to pay them to hold your money. So anyways, guys, we're a bit early on DeFi. That's why these rates are so juicy right now. And what they do is they actually compound this. So it's a little bit different. I know you guys are like, 20%, how is that sustainable? Well, it's what happens when it's compounded. So that's why it says APY. So what they do is, say you earn interest on the $500, say it's $1 after 1 month or $10 after 1 month. Now what they do is they take that $510, redeposit it into the pool, and now it's earning interest on $510. Now that interest earns quote unquote $11. So now you enter the $11 into the 510. Now you have 521. And you redo it, redeposit, etc. And that's how it kind of explains how the pool works. And they basically, because there are gas fees involved, there is a hefty gas fee up front. It's like 0.1 or 0.01 or 0.02 gwei, which is going to set you back maybe 40-50 bucks. So maybe even more, depending on what the price of ETH is. But do keep that in mind, guys. That is going to be a factor on there. And the reason they do that is because they're taking advantage of the volume. So you guys can see they have this much locked up. Well, not this much, but you guys can see they have 86 milli locked up right now. So what they do is they recompound that. So it's pretty interesting how that works, and you can play around with other pools. But we're doing low risk right now because don't really want to get into the risky stuff if you guys are opposed to risk. And then you have another one called Harvest Finance. So Harvest Finance is pretty interesting. They do have different token pools like Wrapped ETH, ETH Perp. And they're high rewards on something like KX, USD, and DAI is because if one goes up and the other stays the same, aka a stable coin, you are going to have a lot of impermanent loss. If you don't understand that same thing, go to my channel and research on impermanent loss. But basically what you need to know from it is if one token goes up in value and the other stays the same, you're going to lose a lot of money. Just keep that in mind. No one likes to lose money. If you want to learn out how or learn out why it loses money, watch my video on impermanent loss. So then you have stablecoin pools. So look, this pays 14.45% for USDC. USDC or USDT is 19%. DAI is 19%. I mean, guys, that's awesome. I know you guys are looking at it like, nah, that's horrible. Well, if you guys are new to crypto, that's really good interest rates. I mean, that's really, really good interest rates. And all you got to do is just stake these different stable coins. Pretty easy to do. And let me just go ahead and show you guys how it works. So what you do is we'll just hit, well, first I got to connect my wallet. All right, so now look, my USDC shows up. Cool, I want to do max, and I'll hit deposit. I'm not going to deposit because I don't want to pay the ETH gas fees, but I do this to show you guys what it's going to ask for. So that's 0.004 gwei. So whatever the price of ETH is at that time is what's going to determine that, and that's just for allowing. So the next transaction is going to be to deposit it. I assume that's going to cost about 0.015 gwei or 0.01 gwei. I don't know exactly because I have not used this. I don't deposit into this pool directly because, as you can see, 14.45%. And then you go on Rari, and Rari has 20%. Okay, well, makes a little sense. But anyways, guys, you can pick and choose, and obviously the interest rates do change, so do keep that in mind. Then there are other protocols that are not as, I guess you can say, quote unquote, less risky, or I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah, less risk, that have less risk. So those pools that I showed you, those are farming protocols. There is risk involved because if the original protocols they farm from, Yearn Finance is one as well. Let me go ahead and show you guys Yearn Finance. I also did the video on that as well to explain it. But basically, you have the risk of smart contract risk. And obviously, you have the risk is if the stablecoin just goes pop and goes to zero. Yes, there is a possibility. If it says, oh, well, USDC is trash or USDT is trash, I mean, there's just different things that can happen. So you have to factor all that into account. But basically, if there is smart contract risk, someone may hack the system or they may steal a bunch of tokens. I mean, there's different things that can happen here and there. So guys, it's not entirely opposed to risk. That's why there's these interest rates, is because there's risk involved. If there's no risk, there's no reward. However, it's less risky compared to having like a Bitcoin or Ethereum stored in a vault. Yes, there is a chance that, say, the whole system gets hacked, or there's just more risk involved. But again, I'm not harping on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I like both of them, and I hold both of them. I'm just kind of telling you guys and spitting it out there so you guys can understand it a bit. It's not something that's like, oh, there's no risk. I'm just letting you guys know the different things that are involved. And Yearn Finance is the same thing. It's just like Rari Capital and Harvest Finance. So let's show you guys MakerDAO. So MakerDAO is a little bit different. So basically what you would need to do is you can earn, or not earn, but you can stake or basically lend out your tokens in order to get DAI. So this is a scenario where we're going to deposit some ETH and we're going to get DAI in exchange. So this kind of shows the different parameters that are involved. And yes, there are fees involved, and this kind of talks about the ratios and liquidity fee. What you guys need to know about a liquidity ratio being like 150%. How you can factor in 150% liquidation ratio is like, for example, if ETH is $1,000, you would get liquidated if it goes to, I want to say it's like $350 or $400. If it was at 100% liquidation ratio, that means you would get liquidated at $500. So at 100%, that means it's almost like a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's how you can keep that in mind. And you'll be able to understand it a little better, but you can withdraw or get a loan, get some DAI, and what you can do is you can take that DAI and you can deposit into this Oasis savings app, and it'll earn you 0.89%, as you guys can see. Or you can earn on compound, etc. There's different things, but it's not a crazy amount, but that's how you guys can understand there's different DeFi protocols that you can use. This one's going to be a little more riskier because you are depositing these assets, and if there is a flash crash scenario, then yes, you can be liquidated, you lose your money. However, you still have the money that you borrowed. And then you can use something like Synthetics. Synthetics is a little more complicated, so I'm not going to go into that, but the rates are really juicy. So now those all involve Ethereum gas fees, and those are a bit crazy. So what I'm going to show you guys is the Terra ecosystem. So they have a lot of things on the Terra ecosystem, and you can actually stake on the platform. So let me show you guys the Station wallet so you guys can see this. So with the Terra Station wallet, there's a couple things you can do. You can actually stake here and you'll earn about 11-12% on your Terra Luna. Yes, this is a little more risky, but you get a lot of airdrops, there's different things, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one of them that you do get airdrops for, and it's called Anchor Protocol. So Anchor Protocol is really interesting because they have they call it Stripe for savings, but basically what you can do is you can actually deposit money into this account and it gives you a guaranteed 20% APY. So 20% APY is super hefty, and that's pretty interesting. And it's given it a guarantee. The other ones, they do fluctuate. And how you do this is you just bring UST over, or you burn Terra Luna, get UST, and you can use this on the system by just depositing it and earning interest on it. So it's a really neat protocol. I highly recommend you guys take a look at things like this. And guys, DeFi is here to stay. Especially when it gets rid of the banker. The more third parties you get rid of, the greater chance that it'll take over. So there's a couple of other ones that aren't on Ethereum. I'll kind of explain those now. But you have something called like Solana. So Solana has an interesting ecosystem. They have a lot of DeFi plays. It's the same as Binance Smart Chain, but basically here's some of their different apps and different things that they have on it. But basically you can look at all these different protocols and play around with them, use them. I recommend you guys play around with them, being that it's an early protocol and there could be airdrops and whatnot involved. And you guys can see the different ones that are on it. And they even have wallets connected. They have exchanges connected. Sam Bankman-Fried is highly bullish on the Solana ecosystem and the DeFi ecosystem, especially with all the trading. Of course, you have the Binance ecosystem. So Binance, they have a couple of different farms where you can just earn some passive income on it. Yes, it is more centralized, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of them now. So one of them that's pretty popular is Auto Farm. So Auto Farm has a couple of single-sided pools. You do have to turn this into IBUSD in different protocols, and what you're going to do is you just deposit these single-sided liquidity tokens, and you'll earn interest in these different in the asset. And you guys are asking yourself, how are they able to pay 35% and the other guys only pay 20%? Well, here's the auto compounding. So they auto compound, and auto farm, what they're doing is they're auto compounding on another auto compounder. So it's pretty complex, and they call them farming strategies. But basically, that's how you can integrate and get an idea of it. But it gives 28% in that scenario, and then it gives 3.3% in auto. What that means is the additional compensation is made up with the auto token. Oh, I'm sorry, the farm APR is 28%, but after it's auto compounded, it comes out to about 31%. And then you have the auto APR. So that's why they're able to get 35% APY. So that's how you can understand those different protocols to use. And those aren't the only ones. They have several other ones. If you want to get a little more complex, here's another one you guys can look at. So they have another one called Pancake Bunny. And the reason why I call it a little more complex is because you can provide liquidity for some of the LP tokens, and you can kind of experience the process, and it's a lot easier to do. They have a one zap, so all you got to do is deposit one token, and it'll automatically spit out these LP tokens that you will need. And that's just so much easier. So instead of having to make a transaction for one token to another token, make the token, so 3 transactions, instead it all does it in one. So it's an interesting protocol and really easy to use. And you can play around with it and try how it works with the LP tokens without having a crazy amount of impermanent loss. Because, well, what do stablecoins do? Well, they're supposed to stay at $1. So if you have stablecoins compared and pegged to each other, it's going to be 1-to-1. They aren't moving anywhere. You return the liquidity, or the same liquidity you put in is probably going to be the same amount of tokens that you get out. So you can keep that in mind. Guys, these are just a couple of DeFi strategies you guys can use. I highly recommend you guys take a look at all the different protocols, play around with them. This is typically how airdrops come out too. If you're depositing into these ecosystems, you guys can see different airdrops that do happen. And I'm going to leave you guys with one more. This is also on the Binance Smart Chain, and this is called Venus. So Venus, I'm going to show you guys the dashboard so you guys can see it a bit. With Venus, this one's a little bit, not crazy, but it's a little bit different. And what you need to do is you can go to their vaults, and this is where you can deposit some VI. In order to get VI, currently the APY is only 11%. Like a week ago, it was 20%. So that's what I'm saying. It changes all the time, especially as more and more people are using it. But what you need to do is you need to go to the dashboard, and you would do the borrow market. This kind of tells you what the cost is, or what it's going to be like annual percentage yield for borrowing. So this is basically your cost to borrow Venus. So what you can do is you can go here and you can deposit VI, Venus, and you can get VI in exchange, and you can deposit, and you do earn interest on depositing Venus. So the Venus percentages aren't crazy high, but you can play around with the protocol to see what it is at this time. But you go to the market, and you can see right here for the supply APY, it says it's 9.55%, and the borrow APY is way higher. You don't want to be paying that, in my opinion. But hey, if you want to do it, go for it. Not financial advice. But what's interesting is when you mint VI, there is no loan fee. So it's not even listed on here, but basically there is no fee for minting VI. So the other guys have fees, especially when you're depositing Venus. There's no fee for having VI. So that's a couple of DeFi strategies you guys can use. If you guys enjoyed this video, if I brought any value to you guys, go ahead and smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. That way you guys are notified every time we make a new video. And guys, if you want to support the channel, there's a couple of affiliate links in the description below. But if you just simply want to support the channel for free, then smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. That's it. And I appreciate that way more. And go ahead and leave the comments below like what you think are the best DeFi strategies, or if you just think I'm a lunatic. Proverbs chapter 29 verses 1. Whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. So this is something you can relate to, like, hey bro, you got a piece of broccoli in your teeth. Hey bro, you got a piece of broccoli in your teeth. And someone tells you like 400 times and you're like, no, I don't. And then you get up in front of a crowd of a bunch of people and they're like, bro, you got broccoli in your teeth. And kind of, it wouldn't be really embarrassing, but just kind of giving you guys a horrible example. It's something that's like, hey, if someone tells you something once, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'll look into it. To tell you a couple times and it's like, well, you must be doing something wrong. Anyways, guys, just a quick wisdom one-liner, just quick tidbit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell notification. That way you guys can be ahead of the game every time we make a new video. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Guys, I need you guys to do a couple things. Participate in the quadruple threat. First, set up a Celsius account. Here's a referral link. You guys can use it. Write it down. Type it down. Or you guys can use the link in the description below. Set up a Celsius account. Good for savings. Good for earnings. Don't bet the house on it though. But anyways, you guys can get a free bonus on this. Alright, how do I get this free bonus? Well guys, enter in this link. You guys will get $30. Then deposit $200 in any cryptocurrency. Enter in new 40. Like NEW 40 promo code. You guys can use both and you'll get a total of $70. Guys, that's step 1 of the triple threat. Alright Drake, I did step 1. What's step 2? Alright guys, this is where you can get your small altcoin gems and little game changers. You guys can go to crypto.com. You can set up an account. Here's a link in the description below, or you guys can just type in this code right here on the screen. Deposit some funds in there. You get $25 in bonus crypto. You guys can use that to buy your altcoin gems and have some fun. Step 2 of the triple threat, or I'm sorry, quadruple threat. And the third one, this one is a fun one, Voyager. This one is more so where you can buy with limit orders. It doesn't have as many altcoins as crypto.com, but it's really easy to use, easy to set up. And yes, this one does come with a referral link as well, and you'll get $25 in BTC. This is how you can do a limit order. Super easy to use, and they don't charge any trading fees whatsoever. Here's the referral link. You can't copy and paste it, but you can look in the description to copy and paste, and you can put that in and set one up. 25 bucks. Step 4, open up a BLOCKFI account. Here's a link you guys can use. The reference code is 024FFE02. All the links are in the description below. Open up a BLOCKFI, just deposit some funds, and you'll get $30 in BTC. And you can also get that crypto cashback rewards card. Don't forget about that. Game changer, 1.5%. And the first few months, you get a bunch of extra percent. Check it out. This is the funnest one though. Lolly, free. There is a referral link to this one too. I've actually won 100,000 sats one time on one of the taps, which is worth like $100 in Bitcoin. So it's crazy. Look, and there's even proof in the wallet. Look at that, daily stack, 101. Guys, set one up. It's really easy to do. Download a Lolly account and just set it up. And of course, guys, if you guys are a pro, there's a link in the description so you guys can sign up with KuCoin and Binance US to get some trading fee discounts. Thanks.